Hey guys, Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Let's see what the Black Widow wants to do this morning. This is a US pre-market open, so I'm kind of seeing what's cooking here. So far, this trend line has been holding pretty well. But the trend line is simple. I mean, it's not that hard. But I think what's more important that a lot of traders don't get is the underlying under the hood in regards to these charts. Looking at the geometry, price and time, and all that stuff. Like a lot of people probably don't know that the 4x4 is right here, unless they're using some scale charts. So far, we're having a tough time here. And you could say maybe yesterday the bulls had a little more of an edge. I'm looking at it now. Today, we don't know. Our simple glance chart, TD9 just kicked in today. We took yesterday's low and bottom feeders came up. But the MACD, sorry, my throat's I'm getting a little better. But you know when you cough a lot and then your throat, like, I woke up this morning and I coughed, it like hurt. It's because I guess I was coughing a lot last night, and then that first cough got my throat irritated. So that's how kind of like I feel right now. But I'm feeling a little better, so thank you for your best wishes. MACD is about to cross over, so that's a good indicator that there's a possible turning point coming. Not yet, but we'll see. And we got this gap fill right here. And TD9 just kicked in today. So let's see if we could take out 294. You know, I was thinking, I think they say there's another hurricane or something coming through the coast. I don't know. There's another one, and that's unknown if that's going to really hit where all the natural gas producers are at. So I think maybe that's why people are buying it. It kind of crossed my mind this morning. I don't know the name of them. I know there's one coming up. There's like two of them, like back to back, but I don't know if it's. I kind of saw it on a clip, but I don't know if it's true. I haven't really actually looked at it, so something to think about. This is what I use my squeeze plays chart. I call it squeeze play, but I normally use the bigger time frames. I use the monthly, weekly, daily, and the 12-hour chart. But there was no squeeze playing in, so I had to, lower the time frames, and now I'm at 4 hours, 1 hour, 30-minute, and 15-minute. You can see in the 4 hour, there's no squeeze play yet because we just been going sideways. So this is change of contract. We pulled back, popped a little bit, sideways on the 4 hour, tried to push higher in the US session, sideways, and in the overnight session before the US session, they slammed it down. So we're kind of finding support at the 20 SMA on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, you can see that we're already below the 20, trying to regain the 50, and we haven't kissed the 100 SMA. But you can see that as of 12 o'clock, September 30th, we have been in a squeeze play. And the more we continue to stay below the zero line, the high probability that the pressure is going to release to the downside on the 1 hour time frame. So these are just little things I look at just to kind of get clues. So we got that flush, and then bottom feeders showed up, like right here. This is the 30-minute. In the 30-minute, you're below the 20, the 50, and trying to stay above the 100. I believe the 200 SMA is down here. So it's like a domino effect. There are traders that would buy when they kiss the moving averages. So if we ever get down to 265, believe that there's going to be some buyers coming here. Obviously, even more because you're filling the gap, which is right there. So if it gets down there, know that there's going to be a lot of buying. So you can see so far it's gaining momentum to the upside. We haven't kissed the 200 on the 30. Chopping around the 50. This is where the bears will probably come in this area. So these are pivot lows. So far violated these to the upside. You got the 291 right here. You got 293 and then 294, which is our high. So let's see if the bulls can continue pushing higher to at least to test 294. And this is my last one, which is the it's the 15 minute. You can see that 200 has been really working well as support. Change of contract, pull back, find support at the 200, bounce, sideways, failed, cracked the 200, now regaining it. So now let's see if the bulls could take out 292 and 294. If we go back down below the 200 again, the bears are going to see, is like, well, they failed here and they continue sideways. But if it goes back down below the 200 again, the bears are going to sniff that out and really pounce hard. So be aware of that also. Midpoint chart. You can see that so far it's holding this 288, 286. Still a doji, undecided on the weekly candle at the top of the range. Can't push higher, but doesn't want to go lower. Hockey sticks on the weekly, which I call hockey sticks, is like an early indication that there could be a possible turn. We don't know for sure, but it's looking like it. On the weekly, on the daily chart, we got our Tom D mark, which is that red arrow right there, ninth candle. And on the 4 hour, you can see that we have a red candle still in the mobiles, which is noise, but found support at the 50 moving average. But what gives us clues that, you know, maybe this is just a dead cat bounce and that the bears are just waiting for the retail to slam it even harder, is that the mobile already cracked the bands. So this is more risky. So this is what the bears are probably waiting for this bounce. Maybe in the US session slam it. But this is what it looks like. And you can see the Stokes now are unwinding to the downside. You got the green at the 50. You got the blue below the 70. So now they came up here. There's a lot of stops here, liquidity here, and then there's a whole bunch over here too. So we can't ignore that maybe the bulls want to get all these stops that are short, the early bears. So it could go either way. I just know that there is resistance here geometrically. And this is where the bulls have to really show us like, all right, we know there's resistance there. We're going to blow right through it and continue. They haven't shown that yet. And the bears see that. The bulls are stalling here. So if they're stalling here, they want to push it lower and they're already showing signs. So there's a lot of liquidity here. And then you got this gap. So they let them buy it and see maybe in the US session, then they push it lower and get all these guys and all these stops and push lower. But we don't know that for sure. We're just speculating. And lastly, on the 1 hour, you can see that it found support at the 200 moving average. And you can see that we are now above the 290, which is your midpoint for today. And there's buyers coming in very strong, and the mobile is positive at the 0. So it looks like now they want to get some 294 and maybe get these stops up here if they can. See, now the bears are now piling on. They're defending. There's a big seller here or a bunch of sellers here defending this area. And, you know, they got money. Their stops are way up there. So they're piling in. So every time the bulls come up here, they know Well, I could kind of say the smart money knows that there is heavy resistance right here, and they're pushing here. So I was speculating yesterday in my video, if they were to push it and take out 294, I think the max high they would go would be 98, 99, around there, and then turn around in the US session. But what would void my thesis or my theory that this is gonna turn here, obviously, even to make the wave 4, then eventually to do a wave 5 and end up even higher in the end of October, maybe November, is that they're trying to let it to build up and then really flush it hard. So that all depends on where it's gonna go, but that's where I'm kind of seeing. And it looks like the 200 right now is holding up. But in the US session, you take out this. Obviously, if you stay below 290, but really take out 282, then, which is your midpoint from, Friday, then things could get ugly. And I think that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for it to go below here, and then the last bulls that think that maybe there's a fighting chance to go higher, that's when I think I'm going to pounce. Even to ride that wave 4 down for a little short term, and then get out and then ride it for the last wave 5. So that's how I'm kind of looking at it. I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that, guys.